is there. Please say hi. And we have a very good, our board members, people are also there. Ketan, say hi. And Aryan always be there. So see, all of these are members from our RaSoR team and the Paradox RaSoR team. And Sudeep is waving. Okay. Great. Thank you all of you being here. It is pleasure. The reason why we wanted to have this quick call was to give you a perspective of what's happening. And as people join in, they can also see our live stream, which is being done courtesy Aryan. So let me not waste a minute. I will just go to our website. I think that's a very brilliant work done by Yuvraj. And this. So this is our website. You could definitely go there. Aryan, Aryan will be able to put that on our chat. The link. Please go through the website. It has got all the relevant details, which is there, which can give you a perspective of what is Ramanujan Society for Research. So I will let you to explore this, but I will go into the Research Summit website, and that's the more important one. So all of you, as we speak, there are 3 interesting events which we are conducting in the Paradox time. So there are 3 important events under Research Summit, which is what we're going to be conducting during the Paradox. The first event is the workshop. I think this is the first activity. Everybody is everybody is eligible to join this offline first workshop of ours, which is going to happen on the 28th morning. And this is none other by Professor Dr. C. Balaji, a very, very eminent professor who's based out of an IIT campus, and he is from the mechanical engineering department. And professor has written amazing amount of books in the area of research, and one of the books is known as The Joy of Research. We will be sharing with you the video link of this particular program, which he has already done. That is The Joy of Research book presentation. And this video, you please go through this video, because sir said that, let everybody avail my video so that I can then start taking an interactive event and questions, which is going to be, he can make an interactive session to all of you rather than just repeating that. So that's going to be the first event. Everybody, please do register for this. Now, I will talk about the registration process after all the 3 programs, so that it is little easy and focused to all of you. So everybody, are we clear on the first event workshop, which is the yeah, is that very clear to all of you? Any questions on the workshop? So because that's an easier one. So any questions, anybody on the workshop part? So this is a physical offline workshop during the IIT Madras Paradox event.
Can you please tell us what would be the topics covered in the workshop so that people would know in advance?
Sure, Amrita. So if we looked at the entire IIT BSc students, most of them are not familiar with research, and most of them are okay in the process of research. So we requested sir to make it as simple and elementary, because the vision of our society is to build a research mindset among students. And I believe if you go through our website in detail, we already have 3 activities which we are conducting on an ongoing basis when we are talking about the Ramanujan Society for Research. One is known as Research 101, where we have eminent people coming on board during the weekly, monthly frequency discussions, where people are talking about elementary stuff of how research is to be done. All the videos are also there on our website. The second part is exploring. There are people who are subject matter expert who would talk about area of research in more in general, and that is also we have recorded. And similarly, in those lines, we requested sir to talk about fundamental initiatives of research. And because we were not sure about the large audience and we are doing it for the first time, it will be a very generic way of research. And one of the things which sir said is, in his book, The Joy of Research, there is one particular area known as the creativity in research, and he's going to focus on that aspect, Amrita.
Yeah, thank you.
So he will talk about the creativity in research, and because he's too busy and we have actually got his 1.5 hours, he suggested that, please, and we will share his link so that you all go through and he can have an interactive discussion, because he could ask him about, which are the topics which are happening in the area of AI and ML. How does one go about writing research paper? And people who are from the social science, like you and me, we are into the social science aspect or not in the information technology aspect. So how can we transcend from that area to the information technology aspect? So he is absolutely open and warm to this, and I would request all of you to register for this event. Aryan, can you just share our internal link of the registration? Because it is important that we have got couple of registrations, and we've been talking to the Paradox team about it. But that's the way it is. So one is all the people can get registered to the Paradox event, and for any one specific event, maybe research or hackathon. But we being having three events, we have three different events. One is the workshop, and the other two, which I'm going to talk about. And for the workshop, it is free. Everybody gets a participant certificate, and there is no charge to it apart from whatever you have paid for the registration of the Paradox. So my request to all of you is kindly to register, because we are doing it in the OAT, in the general hall, right, Aryan? Which one was that? The main
ICSR auditorium.
yes, ICSR auditorium. Sorry. So it has a large capacity, but we would want to, curtail to the number of people, because it all depends upon how much the professors are okay. So my sincere request is, please definitely register ASAP, so that you will not miss it. And it is going to be on 28th, which is the morning part, and I think the whole program of ours is all be on 28th of May. So it is not clashing with any of the events. It is not going to be having during the marquee or the star events like any performing arts or fine arts events. So please do join us and do register for that. Any other questions apart from what Amrita asked? Anybody else who has any questions on this?
So I have a question, sir.
Yes, Andrew.
So like to get the research papers, do we use Google Scholar, or where would we get our research? Like I was just checking the website out, and it said you have to at least minimum 10 papers you have to research and present, right? Like, so where would you recommend us to get those papers from, sir? Exactly.
Okay. So let me do from when we start the research paper contest and the research presentation contest. I will take it up from there.
Okay,
Is it okay if you give me a minute?
Yes,
Can I
yes,
start
sorry.
that? No problem. No, I'm saying definitely there are these questions we will answer. Anybody who has a question on the workshop, and that is what I was first asking. Any other questions on the workshop? So it is a free workshop. There is no extra payment you need to do apart from what you've registered for the accommodation stroke, the registration for the Paradox event in Chennai. Second, every participant gets a certificate of participation after you, attend the workshop. The workshop is about by Dr. I will just share his screen that we are good. It is by Dr. Balaji sir. He is a part of the IIT Madras campus, a mechanical engineer by profession. He has spent 28 years teaching, and he's also one of the editorial members in many IT related journals when it comes to research. And an amazingly enthusiastic person. We have spoken to him. It was like amazing to talk to him. So he will talk about various things, but and Aryan, we have his video, right?
Yeah, Joy for Research is there.
Yeah, so just put it on the link now, Lina. Is it possible, or we can send it separately?
Yeah.
So please go through. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm saying that we will send it again.
Sure.
Just putting it again now.
Amazing. So please participate. He's a very senior. In fact, everybody in the IIT Paradox team were very surprised at how we could get him, because luckily he was free for us, and we thought of just grabbing this opportunity to listen to him. So that's something is there. So are we good on the workshop? I believe there are no more questions on the workshop. It's a very straightforward, self-explanatory one. Second thing, now that is the one activity which we are doing, which is going to be our main event. The second activity, we have got two competitions for all the students and people who are working professionals, people who are students, people who are also PODs and course coordinators, like all our coordinators and CAs who are there, all are eligible for both the competition. So it's going to be completely open to all of you. And what is it? Let me just take you through that. So there are two things which we formulated. The idea of doing this was from a perspective of, you know, differentiating the audience between two parts. One is the audience who is new and who want to talk about research, who want to understand research, but they don't know what we have to do. And that is the first step of our society. So we have this competition known as Research, Review, and Represent. So what we need to do is simple. The idea is that there is a theme which I'm going to talk about. We have a theme for this whole research summit. The theme is applications of AI. And we have identified 5 to 6 areas of sectors in the area of AI. And this is what our focus is going to be. The person who's new to research, he has to look at these things. First is he needs to identify one of the topics in that 5 topics of what we have spoken about. So I think there is a topic somewhere we have mentioned here. Yeah. So this is the topics which we have looked at. So our theme is application of AI in the contemporary world. That is the theme of our research summit. And these are the 5 topics, which is artificial intelligence in environmental sustainability, artificial intelligence in pharma, health, and biotechnology, artificial intelligence in education, artificial intelligence in social sciences, and artificial intelligence in finance. These are the 5 areas which we have identified for people to probe more on this particular area. Now, as a new person, I'm a new person in research. So what I'm supposed to do is I need to look at this particular topic and identify 10 papers, 10 research papers, a review a review of the abstract of each paper. So what normally we do is we need to take the paper, research paper, and the research paper has different parts. The first part is the abstract. That is what is the background of this, or what is the crux of this paper is something which you write in the abstract. And then it followed by the introduction. Then every research has a research objective. And every research, typically when we are not doing an experimental research, is actually focused on a theoretical background. Like, for example, if I'm going to say the car runs very fast, I would probably say that the reason why the car runs fast is because it is based on the theory of Newton's laws of motion. And for force is equal to mass into acceleration. So higher the mass, higher the acceleration, the force is, or the speed is, so on and so forth. So the point is, every research we do today, apart from the experimental research, all are based on a theory. Now, that is something which is very crucial for any researcher. So when you identify a paper, you will open up the paper, you look at the abstract and obviously the questions and the objective. Then you will look at what theory that particular paper or the researcher has used to write this paper. Then once you look at a theory, you will understand, maybe there will be a theory of, Newton's force, or there will be theory of molecules, there could be a black hole theory, or there could be a theory of U-Tout, or there could be a theory of, existence, or Darwin's theory. So there are multiple theories used by any researcher, which is to be identified in that paper. And once you identify the theory, you will also understand what kind of research methodology the person has deployed to actually come up with a research paper. So normally what happens is I take a sample, I do a primary research, or I probably work on a secondary research. Then if I'm doing a primary research, I would probably look at, what kind of sample size, and there are processes and a basis or some process to identify how to get a sample size. Then how is the questionnaire built? Is it an open, is it a quantitative questionnaire where is it a questionnaire which is, it is going to be sent to someone who will fill it up? Or are you going to do a focus group discussion? Like, do you have a discussion of a topic and then you come out with an inference? Then you also have to understand in that particular paper, whether it's qualitative or quantitative. So all of these comes under the area of research methodology. Everything is there in every paper. And the person who is interested needs to identify 10 papers, say, for example, applications of AI in, say, media. or say applications of AI in finance. I will identify 10 papers and look at these topics and take each of the papers details of this and make a summary of what you understood in that same topic by different people. So if there is a paper known as applications of AI in finance as a topic, so you will look at 4 or 5 different papers, 10 different papers of the same topic under finance, and that's something which we need to be very clear. So do not take paper which is applications of AI in finance and say cryptocurrency, and somebody talking about applications of AI in finance and say banking. So it may not gel. Please try and see how the same subtopic which you take so that you have a correlation between all the 10 papers. So that's what is RRR. So you need to make a summary and make it in a presentation format and share it to us. We will send you a Google link. Please upload that and share it to us by the 20th of May 2023. Now, this is the RRR, which is the first event. Now, coming back to the question asked by the gentleman Andrew. Now, obviously, Google Scholar is one of the only first freely available resource for finding papers. Obviously, there are more resources like there is a Web of Science, there is Scopus. Some colleges, Andrew, if you have a relationship or if you have an ID or a passport of Web of Science or Scopus, you can access those. And apart from that, there are some more free sites which you can log in as a student, like a ResearchGate is there. Then there is Academia. You can check on these two also sites where you will get papers and you can download those papers and start studying. So these are some other available websites where you could probably get some papers of your interest. Does that answer your question, Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So any questions on the RRR? Yeah, I completely agree. The best way to start your research is to definitely access the Google Scholar. It is very reliable. I completely agree with Amrita. And I think beyond that, if you get an opportunities, Web of Science and Scopus is the best. If you have a login and ID, it's wonderful to have it. And I would suggest that more clarity we have. Aryan has already uploaded the videos of Atul sir, right? How to go about finding papers. He has also explained a very nice concept of the Boolean additions and subtraction so that you can use the right keywords. So do go through that video, which is already uploaded in our website. You would get some more clarity. And I think anybody who's wanting to start this journey, as we do that same thing when we do our foundation courses or diploma courses, go through the videos. I think we have got some amazing experts who have been speaking to us out of their own passion. So please go through their videos on our website and it can help you to learn more. Can we submit apart from the 5 themes? I'm afraid Abhinav, no, because we are trying to narrow down the focus. Are you saying anything to do with AI application or you're talking about a very different subject? You can unmute and talk.
Actually, I was talking about AI only, like AI in some other field.
Can you give me what is it there in your mind?
Maybe space.
AI in space. Okay, be my guest. Please do it. No problem.
Okay, yeah, sure. That's the only query I had. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Sir, adding to that, what you just have said, we also have some sites like RSIP, ARXIP, whatever it said. So what we will do is we'll put it in a mail and group regarding some websites which we came across that where you can get some free papers, because that site was suggested by Professor Ganpati from IIT itself.
Amazing. I think that is a good thing. Thank you for bringing that up, Aryan. I think one of the important things is, see, research is a little serious stuff. So we have created a Google group. Now, what is this Google group? Let me explain because it's a little complex thing. Those people who have registered to be a part of the research summit in Paradox, gone through the Paradox site and they have registered. We have the details of all those people who have registered for research. But what happens is there are 3 contests and 2 contests and 1 seminar or workshop in the research summit. So we are not sure about who wants what. And that's the reason what we have done is we have created another Google form, which is what Aryan shared earlier. Once you register for the research summit, those people only will get this form to register whether they want to register only for the workshop or only for the research review represent program, or the next thing which I'll talk about is a proper full-fledged research paper presentation. And hence, we don't want to advocate there are too many WhatsApps. We still have those. But as a researcher or a person who's interested in research, a Google group is wonderful. So that what we could do is we could actually build this whole community on the Google group and share all the resources to all of you. Like as Aryan said, we have a lot of resources given by people. But what happens in a WhatsApp is become more informal and we may have to go through again. But a Google group is a very good program. It will never ever go out of yours. The only thing you need to make sure that is that it is not going under spam for you in your website, because all have only the IIT IDs. We will not be creating the Google group of a non-IIT email ID, irrespective of the fact that the student is there or not, because we only want the IIT IDs of students in the Google group. So those students who have registered for the Paradox, they all will be getting a Google group email. I think we sent one earlier. Aryan has sent today also about the research program, and please focus on that. And those Google group emails will be worthy of all the information which we want to give you. Right, Aryan? Is that right?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Yeah. So so we will share that with you. So Abhinav, AI in space looks okay. Please go ahead. We will also learn something interesting from you. And apart from that, I think there is a lot of points which have been given. Yeah, I think Amrita is sharing a lot of inputs on citations and all. Yes, we do please go through the papers. And I think what she says, right, Google Scholar is the best. Do not worry about, see, my the endeavor when we spoke to our advisory and the other people, our endeavor was to start building this thought process. So do not worry if you are not correct. Do not worry that people are better than you or people are not better than you. Just do not worry. Just open up and get the thought process of your research starting. So it's absolutely fine. And you can just take 10 good papers, take the abstract, and understands the idea of doing this RRR was to make the objective of this triple R is not to evaluate, but to get you into the mindset of how a research paper is written. Because when you talk about an essay or a competition and versus a research paper, they are far different. They are poles apart. It's more technical, more focused, and more objective driven. Whereas when you talk about an essay, it is very, very, descriptive. So you will also see the choice of words are very different in a research paper. So my sincere suggestion is to not get locked down by the evaluation. I think it's just the same. You just have to, attempt. And I'm sure that we do that when we are learning Max too now after so many years. So we are attempting. I'm sure you can do a lot of things in your realm of things. So like coming back to the presentation again, I'll just go back and quickly share this. I think the qualifying process. So once you give us the your research presentation by the 20th, we've identified a jury from IIT Chennai, and they will be scrutinizing these presentations. And we will have the top 5 good presentations who will be selected to do a presentation in front of the entire crowd at IIT Madras during the Paradox. And every person who gets selected to this presentation will be given a 7-minute to make his presentation or her presentation. And we do have a jury there out of the 5 to select the 3 top winners, which is the first, second, and the third prize. All of them get a certificate and plus a cash stroke voucher of 3,000 for the first prize. Second prize is 2,000 and third prize is 1,000. So those are the prizes for the research review and representation, and definitely all get a certificate from the Paradox. And of course, we will be looking at giving another extra certificate for all of you when it comes to the even Ramanujan Society for Research. So that is what is a qualification criteria. So by 20th, you will please, you have to, submit to us. We can't change the timelines because of all processes and every logistic constraint we're going through. So 20th, definitely will be the last day. We will not be able to take any presentations after that. And I think before the 24th, we will be communicating to these top 5 people of the RRR that you are shortlisted and selected for the presentation round. And so that you are absolutely clear before the Paradox starts. On 24th, we will send this so that you're clear and you can travel. And I'm sure that people who are registered should be participating and should be winning, because if you have sent your paper and we send you on 24th, you may have to, take a flight to come and make a presentation. So kindly ensure that you register for Paradox, register for event, register for everything. So that is what is Triple R. So any questions till now?
This is completely an individual activity, right?
Yes, yes. It is all are individual. Research is individual. Every activity is individual for at least for this Paradox event. We will look at some interesting thing as we move ahead. So everybody can submit a research review represent, that is synopsizing, summarizing 10 research papers of the area of topic which you have chosen. It could be a person who is a fresher, ideally it is for freshers, or a person who has written papers, or a person who is studying or doing PhD, who are continuing their PhD or done their PhD. Anybody is open to. It is typically focused on people who are fresh and new to research so that they get a sense of how papers are. Any more questions apart from any other questions? Aman, Dipankar, Abhinav, Jacob, Anik, Jinraj, and anybody on the chat on the YouTube link, Aryan? No, right? Any questions on that area? Let us know.
No, so currently there are not.
Okay, so okay. Are we good till now? We have got to understanding of the two activities. One is the workshop, and the second one we are talking about is the RRR, which is the research, review, and represent. So we are clear. Can we go to the third one? Now, it's absolutely very similar when it comes to the RPP, or that is known as the research paper presentation. So I think most of the people who have done research will completely understand this. This is like you identifying your own manuscript and writing a research paper in the area of that 5 sub-themes under the theme of applications of AI. These are for people who have already written research papers and who have submitted papers. Now, the interesting part is there are papers where you have already submitted and it has got approved or it has got published. You may also want to share that as an entry. It is not necessary that people who are participating in the research paper presentation need to write a new manuscript, which is absolutely not possible in the next 18 days if you really wanted to do that, or you are exceptionally brilliant. Either case, if you are already written a paper which has been submitted or you have already in the process of submission, you can submit it here and no need to worry because we have no indexing of this event. It is a starting event. We don't have any, we will not, it will not happen that wherever you have submitted the paper, it will index that you have already submitted in the Ramanujan Society for Research. So it will get lagged. That will not happen because this is a very small start which we are doing. So you don't need to worry about your paper being, plagued or any situation like that, because this is internal activity for us. So papers where you have been submitted, papers which you have already published in this domain of applications of AI, for all those people, you can share your papers. If you have a co-author, you can share the papers, but we may not be able to get the co-author to come in case you get selected, because obviously because it's an internal IIT student event. So very similar process. We following, these are the structure which is any normal paper structure would be, which is like a title, abstract, and everything. And we following the APA style. So, and I think it is more to do with start of people who want to write a research paper or to make others who are understanding research, what research paper presentation is all about. So it's a two-way activity for all of us. Very similar process. Please share your papers in that link, which we'll share in the PDF format. Please send it in a PDF format before May 20th, end of the day. And then we will have the same process. We will have a jury who will select the top 5 papers. and they will be communicated to make a presentation of their research papers on 28th. And again, the 3 winners out of 5 will get the first, second, or the third prize, which is 3, 2K, and 1K. And rest of the things is the same as it was in the RRR. So very similar, just that this will be your manuscript, which is written before, or it has been published before. We have not put a criteria, but do not share your research paper written at least 2.5, 3 years before today. So if you 2023, request all of you, if you have your research papers, please share your research papers in these themes after 2020. 2020 May, that would be helpful, because otherwise it's too redundant for anybody to seek knowledge out of it. Yeah. So that is the third and the final contest, which is triple R. So any questions on, sorry, RPP, any questions on the RPP? Yeah, any questions?
By the time we are getting questions, I will add some points.
Yeah, please.
Guys, please do listen to these things carefully, because these are very important instruction related to event. And yeah, also keep in mind that we are a society where we aim to build a research mindset. So not necessarily you should be a very, expertise in your thing, be it research, be it explanation, be it presentation. What we are trying to do is we are trying to build that character in you. We are trying to, embed that thing into you that you are able to do in your later life. Because they see this is undergraduate. I know we have very diverse audience here, but again, this is a undergraduate degree and nobody's expecting you to write a research paper. But it's always good to be, step ahead of the general public. So what we are trying is to build that mindset amongst you. So if you're coming to Paradox, you should definitely attend this. This will help you in many ways. And we have already shared in our previous session that how this is gonna help you out. And as shared by eminent professor from IIT himself, that okay, if you do this, there is a very high chance that you'll get a job, because research not only help you to get a paper in your name, but it also help you to build the analytical skill, the problem solving skill, which is the very must thing for a corporate. Because what corporate demands, what they see in you, that how you deal with a real life problem and how you solve it. Because corporate got lots of problem to solve, and that's what they sell to the consumer. So yeah, sir.
No, somebody was saying.
So I think you are the best person to explain how corporate works, or maybe Sudeep is, because you guys got experience in that. See, I'm not in corporate, okay, but still I know this thing, even from outside.
I think it is absolutely right what Aryan said. So please understand, all of you, and I have spent 18 years working, and I moved into academics now. It's been last 5 years. I'm a part of an academic college also, where I teach the postgraduate management students. And I'm also pursuing my research, despite doing my master's for a long time. And I am doing my research. I'm learning from all of you, especially very difficult concepts when it comes to data science. One of the things which I have noticed is, in fact, I won't be surprised that tomorrow there will be people who will say that, I want an analytics person, but does he have a domain experience or a PhD, either in any domain? It could be a domain of marketing, social science, information science, or it could be domain of technology by itself. So my suggestion would be that please attempt it. And I'm telling you, with the research, I'm sure that Amrita ma'am, she's there. She has done her PhD. She can share some few words of how research can really change your thought process of your life. So Amrita, I would want you to share some few words.
Okay, like I am not somebody who is a subject matter expert, but yes, I'm also learning in research. So good evening, all. First thing, a very nice way structured thing what RaSoR Society is doing for initiating research into the students, initiating maybe a kind of a rigor in research, maybe a very humble start, but really very nice attempt. Second thing is like. When you're doing research, the very first thing what you need to do is start with curiosity, Like most of the research topics, what I did, since I come from a farming background, so I wanted to do something in organic farming. Then I jumped to organic foods. So do something which you are really interested in, not just for the sake of doing research. I think a lot of research fundamentals and the way to do it has already been shared in the workshops earlier, and would be a long way to go in the coming few days. So I would not like to comment and get into the technicalities of it. But yes, during the during the journey of research in 5 years when I was doing my PhD, I understand that um, it was a very humble start for me, and still I have a lot to learn. So even I would request, like when we are doing the workshop, if we can come up with something at the end of the workshop, a research group or a kind of interest group, study groups, wherein they can work together and then they can materialize something together. It could be a mix of any group, depends on their areas of interest. Like nowadays multidisciplinary research is also on the rise. So people from diverse background, engineering and social sciences can come together. People from maths and stats can come together. So for example, I have something an interest area called as, even though I'm from marketing, I have something interest in something psychology called as emotional intelligence. So can emotional intelligence work as a better thing for the budding managers, or is it very necessary to have emotional intelligence in maybe students like us who are studying a very high pressure study? So how much emotional intelligence matters? So we have been learning people going through depression, anxiety and so on. So does that matter, how to intelligently manage your emotions? So I will not go into in depth of it, but you can search if the topic interests you. So this is how the things start. So start with it, go to Google Scholar, go through a lot of citations. If the person's paper has been cited a lot, that means it's a very nice and genuine paper. And there are research gurus in every arena, in every field, whether it comes from electrical engineering or any part of engineering or management or anywhere. So you'll find that every area has got somebody who is a leader in that research area. So try to follow that person. Go to ResearchGate, open your account on that. Follow people on LinkedIn, because people are nowadays very open. They share everything what they want to do in research. People will even, have seen that foreign professors are also very humble. They will share your entire book also to you free of cost, which you will go in the market and buy for dollars. So you need to show your eagerness, you need to be on your toes, then people will really share their resources with you. So the world is open, you can share a lot. And I believe when people meet offline, they could come up with something productive. Like they can come up with a group, they can start researching together, even though they are from diverse background, or even if there is a diverse age group also, doesn't matter. The only thing matters is the area of interest.
Absolutely. I think that was so nice. Thank you so much, Amrita. I think one of the things which we also did, I think, Aryan, why don't you talk about the whole binning thing which we are planning to do? And very similarly, what we have done, Amrita. In fact, we talked about creating those groups of like-minded people. So we did some work on that, and I think Aryan will be the best person to speak about it. So Aryan, why don't you talk about that binning thing? He used the
Yeah.
entire Python learning so that we all still continue with IIT when we do research. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for this opportunity once again. So guys, what we have done and what we're trying to do is we got the academic interest form, and on the basis of that, we got to know the interest of people, that what they're interested in. So let's say someone is interested in AI, or let's say organic farming, let's suppose, as you said, or let's be it mathematics, statistics, whatever. So what we did, we made a broad channel of it. So any person who is doing AI will go through ML and deep learning and things. So we clubbed them and we made a bin. So the students who have opted that, okay, their interest lies in AI, or their interest lies in finance or economy, they will be clubbed, they will be put in a one group, in a bin. And those guys will have the chance to, communicate and with peers with having a like-minded mindset regarding the research. So what we are trying to do here is that once you get the peers to work with, to discuss things which actually, you both are interested in, you will do the research more efficiently. So I personally, and as a team, we personally believe that once we are in a community of like-minded people who is research driven, who is having the same topic of interest as yours, you will be having much more learning, because other person might have done more research in your particular field which you are thinking you are about to start with. So they may have experience, they may have more knowledge, and they can share with you. So community is all about learning, and interacting is the best way to learn from experience. So that's we are targeting for. And also apart from that, we are also trying to open the study groups. So our first study group is AI safety study group, which will focus on AI and AI safety and related researches. So we are not just targeting the BINS part, we are also trying to target some very specific lectures on the domains like AI, because AI is the majority interesting. We started from there, but we'll bring more and more topics very soon. So that will start very soon. And yeah, we tried to learn. I like actually personally, when I started this Python thing, I started to learn about pandas, NumPy, and Matplotlib. And this came as a project to me. Again, it was a kind of hard project for me because it's a very first time thing. But I certainly think that being in such learning space give you a chance to grow. And that's what I think. It's my chance to grow. And hopefully, I think you guys are getting this chance in our event, through our workshop, through our sessions to grow. So guys, do follow our things, and especially Research 101 is very, very informative. I'm not saying others are not, others are very specific, but Research 101 is the very well-known thing for you to start with research. Do watch the sessions because it's gonna be very meaningful to your life and to your research journey. I think that's enough, sir, for that part.
Great. Okay. I think thank you, Aryan. I think it's very wonderfully tried to summarize how we're trying to do things. And I think we are good as of now. And we have agenda of having the conversation of the event is clear. So we are open for a question for the next 4 to 5 minutes. And feel free to write to us. We have a research society email ID. We are pretty responsive. For sure. We have a very good team of people who are working with us. So you could probably write to us. We will definitely write back to you. And do watch the Google groups. I will also, in fact, as Aryan and Amrita were talking, we are going to send you. I have a list of accounts to be opened, a list of things to be done when you start your research, and I will share that in the Google group. So we've been told by our PhD guys that these are the 10 things you should have if you're going to be in the journey of research. So I will share that also, and we will try, and we are trying to build a lot of content also on our website. I think we wanted to do something, but after Paradox is what we will start. So I think the next line of events are already in place. We have two good eminent professors who will be talking to us in the first week or in the second week of June. We're just waiting for our Paradox because we told them that we have an event and we cannot get a good response because everybody's busy. And we will have a list of plethora of speakers in all the three aspects as we speak. So yes, questions and otherwise we good. So any questions, all of you, or this thanks. Okay. Any questions, or we will have? Yeah, somebody is. Okay, then I think.
I have one last question.
Yes,
Suppose
Yogendraji.
I had seen the topics for the paper presentation, but I am from the manufacturing field, and I had applied some data-driven decisions in my workplace, and those have given the good results.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
yeah. So, is it possible to write paper on that?
Okay, so there is a theme which we are looking at, which is the applications of AI. What I suggest you, sir, is you do share it to us. You submit your paper. We will
Yeah.
check with our, professors. And we will definitely actually share that with our professors because we have made a statement that it has helped the organization. I think it's a
Yeah.
pretty interesting paper to understand. So please do
Yes,
share,
yes.
sir. We wouldn't want to discourage. So as I said, we're trying to build this. We're trying to be as open and flexible so that we get that information shared to the audience across. So do share it. I wouldn't promise you about selection. Let me
Yeah,
be very
sure,
upfront.
sure. Yeah, definitely it's a process because
Yeah.
anywhere if we submit the paper, then definitely it's not sure at the very first stage that we will be selected. But definitely it should be open to for the consideration.
Yeah, sure. Please do share. And okay, so there's a question as by Andrew. Where do we get the form for selecting RRR?
Thank
So
you
I
so
think
much.
we have that form. Aryan, what we created the RaSoR group form.
Sir, that will be shared once people are registered. We'll share through the mail again.
So we will, yeah. So those people who have registered in Paradox, they will get a Google group email, which will have the registration link. So you will get it, Andrew. Have you registered for the Paradox event on RRR or on research?
Yes, sir.
So you will get a mail.
Yeah.
So we did it. We first sent a mail of 45 people before the exam. And then we didn't send the mail because exams were there. As we speak, there are some 210, 20 people who have already registered in the Paradox site for RRR, for Research Summit. And we are going to be sending them the email. So if you have already registered, you will get the mail by today, end of the day or tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I think we are good. And again, so thank you all of you for your time. It was so precious to have you all here. It's already there. The website is done. Everything is done. So looking forward to participate. Looking forward to meet all of you in Paradox. And let's do some research. Thank you, all of you. Have a pleasant evening. And thank you, Aryan. And thank you, Sudeep. Thank you, Varsha. And I think Ketan is left. Okay. Thank you, all of you. Have a pleasant evening.
Thank you,
Good night.
everyone.
sir. Thank you.
Also, you can check out the brochure that's on our website. Just button is there. You can download and see the brochure. It has more details if you want. And do share this thing with your friends if they haven't seen the session. It's live on YouTube. The recording will be there. So do share with them if they have doubts regarding the same, and encourage them to be there, like as encouraged as you are. With this note, I guess we are good to go, sir.
Thank you, Aryan. Thank you, all of you.
Yeah.
Again, have a pleasure.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm ending this meet, sir. So respect.